Okay, so it's quite a rough and ready Ansible script. It's predominantly focused on kind of testing activities. So where I came into this was I wanted somewhere to quickly throw up a clean environment to troubleshoot issues or deploy Derrick to when I was developing out Derrick. So created it for Swarm to start with, and then I've broadened it out for Kubernetes over the past week. There's now a new parameter, extra var, the E stands for, and then we just pass it in orchestrator equals K8s or orchestrator equals Swarm. So this bit's going to be a bit boring because it just goes away and does stuff and pushes out to the screen as it's doing it. I'll start Kubernetes off first because that takes longer, and we'll watch the Swarm one go through.
Boring is good in automation, right?
As long as it stays green, we'll be fine. So this is available on GitHub. I've put the link in the document that we write to during the meetings. All you need to do is update the API, your API key in the create droplet vars file, and add in the identity of the SSH key that you want deploying into the box to enable Ansible to connect and configure. Should have shown this first. There was no droplets in there. There should be some creating now. So this is where they were getting stuck earlier. So fingers crossed, that one's going. So one of these should move along a little bit now. There we go. So it's created the infrastructure. Now it's going to configure it. It's a shame the Swarm one's not moving across because that would have nearly finished by now. The Kubernetes branch, if you like, deploys the Helm version of things. Yeah.
Can you talk us through any of the roles or a bit about how Ansible works for people that haven't used it?
Yeah, so Ansible it's Python based. It connects over SSH, so there's no agent required to be installed on the other end. There's official and community driven kind of modules for it. So part of the script here runs on my machine and talks to the DigitalOcean API. Once the machine's up, then we create another host based on the machine that's just been created, and then the rest of the script then runs remotely on the machine that's been created. You can see things flicking through now. Let's have a look at Swarm's catching up. Swarm's getting there. The roles, there's all sorts of different ways of breaking down categories of work or chunks of work. I've created some roles here, and then I'm only calling roles when based on what orchestrator's been passed in. So on the Swarm version, there'll be a load of blue flash through in a minute when it skips install Kubernetes, configure Kubernetes, Helm, and OpenFaaS Kubernetes. It'll just flash through all that and then get straight to configuring OpenFaaS on the Swarm. There we go. So that's skipping all the Kubernetes tasks. And then once this completes, it shouldn't be too far away now. It'll give us the gateway address, the admin user, and the password that's been configured. So this bit here, it's just waiting for the containers to come down and instantiate. So it doesn't run through to completion and then the user, there we go. So we'll need that, grab that. If we head over there, we should be able to log straight in. Deploy a function. Always go for Figlet. So that's the Swarm version, and then Kubernetes shouldn't be too far behind. Got another wait task there. For some reason, Tiller was taking ages to come up, so I had to set the delay a little bit longer. There we go. It's skipping the Swarm tasks, and then we're waiting for the gateway to come up. We'll get the same output as we do for Swarm.
So what do people think to this? You get Swarm or Kubernetes, all you got to do is type in Ansible playbook.
There we go. So we've got a different port. And it's good to go.
Anyone want to try this out?
Don't all shout at once.
See if anyone changed their mind later. I think this is going to be really useful. I even think we might be able to use it for CI, so we can start testing some of the pull requests that come in. If I have shared accounts somewhere and put some credit into it, as long as we tear down the instances afterwards, we could use this to do maybe a full deployment on a couple of nodes, test the Helm chart, that kind of stuff.
I think what you were alluding to earlier as well with Jonas is that where you have got situations where you're perhaps limited with Wi-Fi in workshops, and this would give you a route to an environment, if you like, relatively painlessly.
Yeah, definitely. So if you guys have got any questions, ask on Slack.